Welcome to Discovering DataFlex. This time we will look at DataFlex reports and use a runtime data source. Last time we did a regular report with a connection directly to the database, but today we're going to look at how we can do it if we want to manipulate the source ourselves, because sometimes the data needs to be manipulated in a way that is complex to make in a query or get from the database itself. So you might want to run some code to change values and stuff like that. And then the remote data source is a really good choice to use when creating a report. So we're going to start a new wizard and going to select the runtime data source. I have already created one, but we can also create a new one, and then we type ants, and then we have our name of the ant, and that's a string of 10 characters. We can go in here to look at the table. If we double click here, we get the table, so we can look at that. Move this out a bit. And then we have the legs, and that is an integer, and we have age, and that's also an integer, and we have a column. So basically what we do is we write the table here, and we don't want the last one, so Shift F2 can remove that one so we don't get an extra blank. Doesn't matter what, or we can just press delete here. But I've already created exactly this table, so I don't have to do it again. And I added it here, and here I have my columns, so I just add all, and grouping, I might to group by column again, summaries. We have legs and age. In age we want the average age. We have some fields, data filters. I'm just going to show all the data. And we're back here again. And now, if we want to preview this, we don't have any data. So we're just going to get a blank report. But we might want to have a look anyway. Maybe we want to make this a little bit bold. So we want data in our report. So how do we do that? Well, we have the edit RDS sample data, where we actually can select a table, and then we can create our own small sets of data in a report. So we create some data here. Okay, and if we now run the previewer of the report, we can see the data. So this is the data that we entered as test data to see how the report looks. So now we can go on and do some modification to this if you like. But that is not the focus of this tutorial, so I'm just going to save this as ants RDS. Yeah, and now we save that. We want to move over to our DataFlex application, and we want to create a new view or report, and a DataFlex report. Let's see. Web objects. Because this view report is for Windows and we have a web project, so we need to look at the DataFlex in the web, of course. So we start this one. Then we get the wizard, and here we can use an existing report, or we can create a new RDS report using data dictionaries. And we are not going to create a new RDS because we have already created an RDS report. But we might do another video on this one at a later time. So we use an existing report, we look it up, and we find the ANS RDS, and we continue. And basically we could use a desktop report, and we want to use all of them, and that's just fine. This is no, and that's fine. And we call this RDS report. Finish. So now we have the RDS report, but if we run this, we're not going to get any data. We have the RDS here and run report, and we only get a blank report because we have not added our data. So we need to do this first, and in order to use this we need to add the table, and we need to use the ANS data dictionary. That's how we find the table. And now we can go down here and Control K to uncomment that code, and we want to clear our ANS table, and since we don't want to filter anything, we just want everything in the table right now, we do find greater or equal ANS, which is the table, by index 1, and then we go to repeat, and when we are in here we want to check if found begin and end, and in the end here we don't want loop, but we want find greater than and by the same index 1, and then we finalize this with until we have reached the end and the data is not found. And inside here we want to set the ends.name to the first one, and the second one is ends.legs, third one is ends.age, and then we have ends.colony. And then we see how this works. So we try to run the report again. View ANS RDS run report. and now we get the data from the database. Now, why do we do this instead of calling the database directly? Well, it might be hard sometimes to aggregate data. You might want to collect data from different tables that are not related, so you want to do lookups, or you might just want to change the data in some way manually. So we can say if and colony equals A1, then move armata to is colony name, and we also need to if we can use this variable as declare it string is colony name, and then we want if and dot colony equals to b1 begin move Bertha to S colony, and then instead of ends colony here we write the S colony name 2. Save that and run the report again. And now we should see the full name of the colonies instead of the codes for them. And this is all I had for today. If you haven't watched the first video on DataFlex reports, go ahead and do that. And looking forward to see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.